So I figured I'd do a little establishment update and do a little update on my current Nixie and VFD clocks that I have built and posted on YouTube over the past several years. So I think the last video I had on a clock was that little tiny little single tube VFD clock. I think that's the last clock I posted officially on YouTube. I got a bunch of kit unboxings and stuff like that in the YouTube archive. They have yet to be posted. Just one of them things where, they're not a hugely popular video to be watching and stuff like that, so I kind of like keep them on the back burner. But I want to do a little update over the past couple of years of how the clocks are doing and the custom built ones that I've built by these hands. Of course, throughout all my videos, if I'm in here, you always see that big Delbar Farney single Nixie running. Runs perfect. The base of that is a PV Electronics clock kit that I first built. I think it was the first video I posted on my channel here on building that and showing off that awesome Nixie. It is beautiful and stuff like that. Really the only issue that I ever had was that the time gets a little off, but being that that is a PV Electronics, they got the Wi-Fi timekeeper. I put a timekeeper on that, and it keeps accurate time beautifully. And then the other various kits, like we'll keep up on that one. I also got that it was that one of them pre-built clock bases for the IN18. That clock is absolutely perfect. It keeps pretty damn good time once you set it up. And of course, if you want to take the time to set it up while you smash the final hit of the button for the seconds to zero mount, excellent keeping clock kit for that little bugger. The only maintenance I have done for that one is two of the cathodes started developing a little bit of poisoning on them, and I've obliterated that with the Nixie healer. If you're a Nixie nut like I am and other people, if you don't have a Nixie healer for your Nixies, you need to get one. So this is from SparkTube. So if you look up Nixie healer, it's the first one that'll probably pop up on eBay. I got Generation 3 here. I did have Generation 2. It never really seemed to work right, so I got another one. And it works beautifully. So it takes a little time to get rid of the dark spots on the cathodes. So one thing you definitely want to take notice of is every once in a while, look at your clocks for maybe a minute or two. Make sure that all the, especially when it rolls over to do the anti-poisoning thing there, make sure all the digits are lighting up evenly. So if you notice, certain parts of the digits starting to get a little dark, take action, because the sooner you bite it in the butt, the easier and the less time you'll have to take correcting it, because it can take several hours or maybe even days to correct that cathode poisoning on a Nixie. Other than that, we'll move on to that Nixie therm there. That Nixie therm is pretty cool. Depending on where you keep it is how accurate it is, but it is very easily calibrating. So it's got a little pot on there. You stick a little flat blade in there, and you can calibrate it to its environment where it's sitting at. Like right now, it's calibrated when that computer is running for an hour or so to be on the correct temperature. So it's saying it's about 77, so it's pretty close. It's about 75 in here right now. So, but it's getting a little heat off the computer, and I got the fans on low for the cooler season. Coming up next, I think the last Nixie clock that I built was Maestro here. Maestro developed a little problem. I had to unplug it for a while, and I kind of let it sit. So when I refired it, it seems to have an internal board short, or maybe some of the traces are bad. But this far left digit barely lights. It's got just a little hint of a little something in there. So there's something wrong internally in the board that is unfixable. So if I swap tubes, the problem remains. So it's got a board problem. If I flex the board just right, I can get it to come on. So I'll be looking for a replacement board for Maestro here. This is a PV Electronics. It's been a good board. Another one of them clock kits where by default it doesn't keep very good time. If you want to spend about 6 months, you can calibrate it, but who has time for that? So that too got another Wi-Fi module to keep accurate time. Very nice clock, except that this one developed a board problem. So I can't fix it, so it needs to be replaced or get another kit, and we'll save the tubes because this particular kit, the tubes come out. So we'll be able to keep the tubes happy, and we'll put it in a new home. And just another kit that I have. Of course, that was the last kit I built, but there was one in the middle. If you all remember the ice tube clock. The big ice tube clock. Awesome clock. Very awesome clock. I love this clock. But, you know, of course, I can't keep all these clocks all in here running and stuff like that, so they get unplugged and they get put in storage. So, the ice clock has a little problem. I think it's the third or fourth digit from the right. It's super bright, and it takes away from the other digits. So I figured it was a driver chip, maybe misbehaving and stuff like that. I did get another chip for it and played a little Swaptronics. It did not correct the problem. If I tap on if I let this run for a couple hours and give it a good tap, whatever happens inside the tube corrects itself, and then it's all even across the board. So I did order a brand new, actually two, because I like to start keeping stocks, these IV 18s. So this is the dark face, the dark background IV 18. There's also almost see-through kind. So I got another replacement tube coming. Actually, two tubes are coming from the Ukraine. So they'll be here in a couple of weeks, and then we'll swap tubes, and we'll have this clock running again. And then finally, to wrap up this particular video, I had this little guy. I don't know if I made a video on this guy, but this is it's a Nixie thermometer. One of the rare ones where you can calibrate it for Fahrenheit and Celsius. But being that this is IN16s, we're very familiar with IN16 type tubes, especially here in this particular establishment. There's Yana. We all know about Yana. Yana had a plethora of bad tubes that I've had to replace with IN16s. So the right hand IN16 is completely failed. It did the classic, it gassed out, and that's what happens with these old tubes. You got a bunch of wires going through glass, and if that seal is not perfect or it fails over time, it lets the neon out, and then it fails the light. So Yana over here, she's been running perfectly. I don't keep her plugged in all the time. I do plug it in a couple of times a year just to let her run, and she's perfect. It does have one little flaw, and it's not really a deal breaker. It does keep time perfectly on backup battery. However, once it loses power, it doesn't keep the year for whatever reason. So it keeps the month, keeps the date perfectly on battery backup, will not keep the year. So I have to keep resetting the year, and it's always stuck at 2020. Bad year, 2020. So other than that, Yana's perfect. I think the only other thing I had to do is change one of the little periods, or the little blinking dividers for the segments. Other than that, that little neon there, the neon would be on the backside, so you couldn't see it. Kind of like a flicker bulb. You know how a flicker bulb, you turn it in the socket and it runs perfectly, but then over time, as the thing ages, the thing either stays at the bottom, stays at the top, or goes on the backside, and you can't do anything about it. So I changed that. Other than that, Yana's been perfect. I do have a plethora. Are you still watching? If you have, I got to add a few more things to this video, because I forget how many clocks I actually got. So, just to briefly go over, you remember the video of the big effing VFD clock? That still runs beautifully with it. Big friggin' VFD panels. Awesome clock. Love it. That's a spark tube clock. The same place that makes the, I got it from same place, and makes them Nixie healers. So I didn't see that particular clock no longer for sale. Probably, they built so many, sold them, and that was it. The hands clock, little tiny little box. That's still running. I have that running in my bedroom. That is an awesome clock. Keeps excellent time. Probably only loses a couple of seconds a year. Awesome clock. Awesome clock. Then I got another little IN14 single Nixie. That's been running awesomely. It's on the same place where that clock kit for the IN IVIN blah blah blah. Get it out. I should just say in 18 clock kit runs beautifully. So back to the other segment before I finish. All of Nixies that have been stored away. Oh, and one other thing, that big 8-tube sucker that is on my channel bander, that still runs beautifully. It's a gorgeous clock to have an 8-tube. I don't know if you've been doing a little shopping for IN18s. You might as well say that each IN18 Nixie tube is about $100 or more. I'm glad I got my 8 when I needed them. So I got a total of 10 IV18s, or I don't know why I say IV, INs in 18s. So 8 tubes out of that one clock, that's over an $800 bill. There's $100 sitting up there, and there's another $100 sitting in the box, waiting to be put on another single PV Electronics clock base. Other than that, I'll probably make a couple other videos on some of the kits that I got laying around here, and even some completed kit. One kit that is completed, and it is a special VFD with a special color from eBayer that is no longer selling. He's Karma Labs, I think that's what it is. Karma Labs That's where I bought the majority of my kits I'm about to show in the following videos. It's no longer selling on eBay. I don't know, maybe because it was during the Ukraine war and stuff like that. That's still ongoing, so the guy's not shipping out. So it's kind of sad. And actually, the last thing that did come in was the completed version of a VFD 6.2 clock. So enough of me rambling. For the clocks that need to be repaired, I will have repair videos and stuff like that. I'm also on in communications with a fellow YouTuber that is even more of a Nixie nut than I am. So we might be joining forces, and stay tuned for that special video. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more Nixie and VFD videos. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.